What does it take to overcome any challenge or fear in your life? On today's program, we travel across the African continent to hear from those who didn't let life bring them down and also overcame their own challenges. And I might just overcome one of my own fears, the fear of heights. I am Okeri Ngutjinazo, and this is the 77%. Bum, 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 bum. Have you ever come across people that tell you that your dreams will never come true or let fear get in your head? Well, I'm here at this bouldering station here in Bonn, Germany to overcome one of my own fears, the fear of heights. Well, come with me. Before I get started, I need the right equipment, starting with this bouldering shoes, but I still need a little motivation since I'm scared. But the next people in this report did not listen to the naysayers and became successful. I'm sure they can motivate you and also me.
I'm playing for 20 years now. I play in Nigeria, I play in Côte d'Ivoire, I play in Senegal. I'm a lion, you know.
I have gained confidence and self-esteem. Before, I was too shy to perform in front of people, but because of dance, I'm no longer afraid.
If you are disabled, that does not mean that you can't do anything.
Whether it's wheelchair basketballers of Benin, the breakdancers of Rwanda, or Ghana's amputee football team, these athletes have three things in common. They live for their sport, they all face stereotypes, and they are not letting their disability stop them. Participating in local or international competitions, they've mastered their craft and are using their bodies in ways which society and they themselves never imagined. Master MC contracted polio at the age of 2, leaving him with partial paralysis of his leg. For him and his team, gaining a place on the court was an uphill battle.
Before we have not the right to play here, but as we improve, as we show them that this wheelchair, this basketball in wheelchairs is not just something to relax, they see that, oh, we are some type players, so slowly they give us place.
Wheelchair basketball has its own rules. Players can wheel their chairs up to 2 times before dribbling. A third push is considered traveling. An inclusive sport, wheelchair basketball can actually be played by anybody as long as they're sitting in a wheelchair and have arms to dribble and move. In amputee football, it's a whole different game. Only players who are missing a leg qualify, with the exception of the goalie, who is missing an arm instead.
We play with our leg, but if intentionally the ball touches the crutches or use the crutches to kick the ball, it's foul. And intentionally, if you use your amputated leg to kick the ball, it's foul.
For the B-boys and B-girls of Kigali, those rules don't matter. Breakdancing is a free form where everybody plays to their strength. Former French-Congolese breakdance world champion Junior Busile Banya, for instance, made it to the top despite his polio. The extra arm strength from walking on crutches can be advantageous. Whether it's for community, building strength, or just for the love of the sport, what all these athletes have learned is that they won't let society dictate what they can and cannot do.
I would like to be like a kind of model, you understand, in the society, so that those in disability can say, oh, I would like to be like Master, I would like to be fashion like he's doing fashion, I would like to sing like he's singing or more than him, I would like to play basketball.
Okay, they feel a little bit tight, but I was told that I need them to be a bit tight to be able to grip onto this wall. So, not so bad. Okay, let's take a look. This feels rock solid, which is making me feel comfortable. Wow, that report gave me a boost of confidence and also a little bit of fighting spirit in me. Speaking of fighting, did you know that Nelson Mandela was a boxer? The sport has a rich history in Africa. If you don't believe me, let's take a look.
When you ask people around the world what they associate with boxing in Africa, many think of the infamous Rumble in the Jungle, the final boxing match between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali in Kinshasa in 1974. The so-called fight of the century in front of 100,000 people was on the one hand a great task dodge by the US boxing promoter Don King and a clever publicity stunt by dictator Mobutu Sese Seko. Boxing already had a rich history in Africa even without US influence and still plays a major role. In 2023, a total of 206 boxers, 142 men and 64 women, from 26 African countries fought in Cameroon's Yaoundé for the African Elite Men's and Women's Boxing Championship. But no combat sport is growing faster than mixed martial arts. Fighters with African roots have dominated several weight classes in the Ultimate Fighting Championship in recent years. This include Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman and Francis Ngannou, who recently switched from MMA to boxing and now trains with legends like Mike Tyson. But did you know that besides these international fighting styles, there are a variety of traditional martial arts on the continent, like Lamb in Senegal and the Gambia, or Ngolo, a traditional Bantu martial art that is the origin of the Brazilian combat sport capoeira. What other traditional African martial arts do you know? Write your answers in the comments below.
Another African martial arts form that I can think of is Nuba wrestling in Sudan. It dates back from thousands of years ago. In Nigeria, they do it a little bit different. They have a combat sport called Dambe, and we meet a young Nigerian. After many years and sacrifices, he is now excelling at his sport. I might need a little bit more time to also excel at my challenge.
In this fighting tradition, greatness demands sacrifice.
Jibrin Inuwa Baba is a highly decorated MMA fighter, a 4-time national kickboxing gold medalist. He has conquered rings both domestically and internationally. But amidst the glitz, his roots lie in the gritty Dambe arenas of Nigeria's north.
This Dambe arena, so where, a lot of people come and compete, you understand, to show their braveness, you understand, and just like any other combat sport, you understand, everybody comes here to win. After I fought a little bit, then I realized that, okay, let me take this to the global level. I think if we can hit each other here and, break our faces and we get some little cash, let me go and get the millions there.
But despite Jibrin's MMA success, he has not forgotten where he came from. Today, Kano's prodigal son is coming home.
This is my old neighborhood, and this is where I used to train, here. I used to skip here, I used to do footwork, and then on that wall I used to put my pad, my brother holding it, me punching. I miss this place, I miss this place, I'm telling you, wallahi, I miss this place. Competition takes me away, but I feel peaceful when I come back here.
The sweetness of reunions can only last so long. Jibrin's training regimen is unforgiving. And early the next morning, it's time to get back to the job. He hones his skills under the guidance of Coach Abdullahi Triga Saleh, who introduced him to kickboxing.
More speed, Jibrin. Jibrin, his background came from Dambe. His fighting style actually, he's a toe-to-toe fighter. His toe-to-toe fighter means he comes, he stands in your front, you beat him, he beats you, and see who's going to go down. Jibrin is very good in a kind of fight.
Jibrin has decided that on this trip home, he will step back into the Dambe ring to take on a challenger. He thinks the game can be integrated into modern combat sports. And despite his years of competing in glitzy, far-off arenas, he doesn't want to see his fellow northern athletes left behind.
As much as my career now is moving forward, I'm succeeding, I really want my young ones to succeed, here in Kano. This is how I get myself to that level. So I have to come back, and since I can do it, I believe that these young kids, these young guys can do it too. They can do more than I do, you understand? And that's why I'm always here. I will always be here as long as I'm alive to build the sport here. I'm here with myself, my wife, our daughter, Kerat, 3 years old, then Amina, my wife's sister, and then Mustafa, my younger brother. Sometimes when I come back from competition, my daughter used to ask me, what happened to your face? This sport needs a lot of commitment. Your money, your health, your time, everything. You know, you have to use supplement like whey protein and all those stuff to keep yourself fit, to be strong enough. You have to use all your time to train. You have to pay the coaches. If you only focus on only fighting to take care of your family, it will be very hard for you to do that.
So I have more equipment with me, but what is this? It's chalk. For any sport, it is important to be safe. Just like this chalk, it helps me grip onto this thing so I'm safe, and also I have a soft landing just in case I fall. But that's not the same for Dambe. The combat sport can be very dangerous for the participants. Let's take a look.
Dambe, a traditional Nigerian combat sport, boasts cultural richness, but beneath its allure lies significant health risk for competitors. Let's delve into these concerns. Head trauma tops the list. Like other combat sports, Dambe exposes fighters to forceful blows, increasing the risk of concussions and traumatic brain injuries. According to experts, chronic exposure to head trauma in Dambe may lead to neurodegenerative conditions affecting movement, memory, and cognitive function over time. Dambe lacks stringent rules and safety protocols found in other combat sports, leaving fighters vulnerable to injury. Occasionally, there are allegations that fighters enter bouts while intoxicated, making their actions unpredictable. In Dambe, securing a kill akin to a knockout blow stands as the ultimate objective for the combatants. Combatants are compelled to exhaust all avenues to completely overpower their adversaries, and some often resort to applying unconventional tactics, reports claim. The winner is then celebrated enthusiastically by the crowd, who may also participate in betting on the matches. Unlike other combat sports, Dambe lacks weight categorization, leading fighters to engage based on confidence rather than size parity. This can expose less advantaged and even minor contestants to injuries. Dambe's unique aspects like hand wrapping with cloth and ropes present additional concerns. Fighters may deliver more forceful strikes due to the false sense of security provided by cloth wrapping, heightening the risk of injury for both parties. Instances of cheating have been reported in the past, with some contestants resorting to tactics such as concealing glass splinters beneath the cloth and ropes of their dominant hand. Even after bruising contests, Dambe lacks the medical infrastructure seen in other combat sports. This makes it less likely for contestants to seek medical attention. Dambe also lacks comprehensive awareness programs and educational resources, which are crucial for mitigating health risks seen in other combat sports. While Dambe holds a significant cultural legacy, it is imperative to address these health risks. Efforts to regulate, educate, and provide medical support are vital for preserving Dambe's heritage while ensuring the safety of its practitioners. Plans to modernize and standardize the sport are underway by the Nigerian Sports Ministry.
Now we know about the health risk associated with Dambe, but at least the participants are taken care. Now let's head back to Jibrin as he prepares for his fight. And I'm also going to prepare for my fight.
In the world of combat sports, Dambe stands as a martial art deeply ingrained in the Hausa culture of Nigeria. Competitors in a Dambe match seek to overpower each other, aiming for total submission within 3 rounds. Dambe has evolved over time, and Nigeria's federal government intends to mainstream it as a sporting activity. As dusk settles, the local fighters prepare for their battles in the Dambe arena, and Jibrin arrives to witness the spectacle.
This is a place where people buy tickets and come and watch the heroes. When I started, I can fight for free just to beat this guy, and people will chant my name. The motivation for coming here is not all about money sometimes. It's all about, being a hero. It's just like gladiator of the ancient time.
Jibrin, a seasoned MMA fighter, still carries the spirit of Dambe within him. He shares insights into the art, emphasizing the precision required in every move.
You pour with one hand and then you hit with the other hand. In no account should you punch with this hand. Only kicks to the upper body or here, stomach or head. There is no elbow, no knee, no grappling, no takedowns. Whenever there is a clinch, they will separate you guys. You have to hit each other.
In Dambe, victory or a kill means knocking your opponent down or forcing them out of the ring. For Dambe competitors, the primary weapon is the strong side fist, also locally known as the spear or amulet. It's basically the fist wrapped in a piece of cloth covered by a tightly knotted cord, but should be infused with tradition and power, Jibrin says.
We have a lot of tradition with Dambe. We have the music. Two, there are charms. The amulet we wear are made by some native doctors around us. When you put them in, you feel that your hand is heavy, it's spiritual. Some will tell you they caught something from the holy books. Some will tell you, okay, they caught the hair of this animal. Some will use the skin of an animal that they know the skin is harmful to the body. Some people, they used to bury their hand in the graveyard, you understand? Yeah, in the grave. And then they bring it out and then they come to fight with it. When they hit somebody, you get concussed.
As the knockout chaos culminates, the visible and unseen scars must be healed. This is done through breaking a meal together. Jibrin invites his fellow fighters to share food on the same table, to repair the scars and to discuss the future of their sporting career. But amid the development, Jibrin's concerns lingers. He thinks there is more to be done to modernize the traditional sport.
Yesterday there was this guy that was hit in the head, very badly. And then he is concussed, I'm telling you. Then I advised him, let's come to the hospital today for a brain checkup. But the guy refused to come. The problem is that we as athletes, we don't want to take care of ourselves, of our health. You understand? Dambe itself is good. It's a very good sport. You understand? It shows bravery. It's our culture. We love our Dambe, it's our culture. But the people, we ourselves, we are the problem. You understand? We don't want to come for checkup. We don't want to modernize it. In order to make Dambe more professional, we need to start taking care of our health in order to preserve our tradition. We have to do that.
After a decade-long hiatus from Dambe, Jibrin steps back into the ring, eager to entertain his people once more.
This evening, I'm going to get back to my root. The last time I fought in Dambe match here in this arena was 2013. So that's why I'm back, to see that after 10 years, I can still come back and compete. I'm not nervous because I've been in a bigger stage than this.
With each kick and strike, Jibrin dominates, proving that his skills are as sharp as ever.
It's been long I played this game, so I've been away for a while. But I wanted to show them that I still got it,
As his opponent falters, Jibrin's victory is not just his own. It's a triumph for tradition and perseverance.
Now I'm getting excited. It is not as scary as I thought it would be. But before I climb this wall, let's head to our last report from our DW Health series, where we follow plus-size dancer Perpetual. She tells us about the struggles with her weight gain and also how she's using dance to overcome it.
So I think we would all agree that food is good, right? It's a great source of energy and a great source of nutrients. But what happens when we take more than our body needs, or we constantly make unhealthy choices over time? One very obvious complication is that we gain weight.
My baby daddy, we got broke up because he started complaining, you are becoming too fat, you are becoming too big. So he went in for another woman, leaving me with a child.
Hello and welcome once again to our Healthy Me No Cap safe space. And with me I have Perpetual, who is a wonderful dancer, by the way. I'm green with envy. We'll talk about that. And so let's go straight into it. When did you first notice that you had a problem with your weight?
I have been a plus size since birth. As I was growing, it kept becoming bigger and bigger.
At what point did you realize this needs to be taken care of?
Intake of food, or apparently I don't have any mind about that, because I think day in, day out, I just get bigger. People normally body shame plus size people. Most people see plus size people, I don't know if I should say it's an abomination. We have personal issues we face. You have the waist pain, the back pain, your knee pain. And aside all those things, you get humiliated by people in your community. When you are even walking around, people can be shouting, hey, as if you are not a human being, or you are like, I don't really get it. And this has been on my nerves.
Were there other symptoms you had?
Any little thing I do, I sweat, I pant. When I get to long distance, I get tired.
You get tired
sometimes,
easily?
Yeah.
So let's quickly check our DW Africa community to see what interesting comments are there. Anne from Kenya is asking, hi doc, are there any complications of obesity? There are actually a lot of complications following obesity. You have hypertension, you have type 2 diabetes, even metabolic syndrome. If you want to be sure that you do not have any of those complications, it's best to always book a checkup with your doctor, just so that you're sure, because the earlier they are found, the better. I hope I've answered your question, Anne. How has this condition affected your friends or your family around you?
My baby daddy, we got broke up because he started complaining, you are becoming too fat, you are becoming too big. And I'm like, oh, am I the cause of it? So he went in for another woman, leaving me with a child.
I'm sure that must have hit you really hard.
Yeah.
How are you trying to find your way around it?
I've learned to eat enough, but not too much. I've also learned to exercise, reduce the intake of carbohydrates, and dancing has really helped me.
Okay.
It has really boosted my courage. Every day I try to do a dance that will keep me healthy. And it has really built my courage, and I really like that.
Did you try reducing sugary foods, staying away from sugary foods?
Doc, I wish there is an injection to help me stop, because I'll try for just 3 days. I can't stop at once.
But you're trying.
I'm trying.
And I think that that's what's most important. The fact that you're trying. What you now need is consistency, the ability to just stay with it and continue. Might fail, but pick up and continue from where you stopped. Diets that are very heavy in vegetables may look boring, but they are actually very healthy. Here's why. Most of these diets contain a lot of fiber, which actually helps slow down digestion and reduce the rate to which glucose is absorbed into your bloodstream. So add more vegetables into your diets. Secondly, you need to build muscle on your weight loss journey. Muscle has very high metabolism, so even when you're not exercising, your muscles are actually burning weight. Lastly, try not to drink your calories. Sodas and other sugary drinks many times contain a lot of calories, which could then add to even the food you're eating and help impede your weight loss journey. Have you lost any weight at all?
When I was pregnant, I weighed 132. When I gave birth, I reduced to 130. Whilst dancing, I now weigh 120.
Has your symptoms improved at all because of this progress?
Yeah.
So thank you, Perpetual, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Doc.
Maybe I'll come for dancing classes because I have 2 left feet.
Sure.
If you've learned something, share this with a friend or family member. And don't forget to put your comments in the comment section.
I did it. I conquered one of my fears, which was the fear of heights, and I'm very proud of myself. I hope you felt motivated by this episode.